What's going on, everybody? Hello.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, yo?
What's good in
Where
the
did you
hood,
go?
y'all?
We just lost her. Penelope Pink, Marina Tucker, where are you? We just lost her at the last second. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Niko Knows Best. I'm sure Marina Tucker will be joining us.
Baby.
Dramatic entrance. We need a dramatic entrance.
She is.
Yay,
Yes,
Marina.
She has to make it dramatic, of course. There would be no other way than the one, the only Marina Tucker. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Absolutely. So I've known you now for a couple of years as Marina Tucker. Recently, I saw
The
you.
Detroit Barbie.
Detroit
right.
Barbie.
Seen so many times.
We've I'll throw a plug to Dan Shaw and Pro Wrestling Action. That's where we met here in Orlando, Florida. You and your crazy boyfriend, Dr. Eric Christopher.
What? Who's that?
You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So
DL.
I meet you as Marina Tucker, the Detroit Barbie, beating a lot of tail. And then all of a sudden I'm watching television and Penelope Pink is on WOW, Women of Wrestling. Not only is Penelope Pink on there, but she's the WOW Women's Champion. And I think to myself, this girl looks a lot like Marina Tucker. Now, I'm not going to do any spoilers there, but you're obviously doing multiple characters at one time. Did you pitch Marina Tucker to them, or did they tell you that you're going to be Penelope Pink? And that being said, are you able to carry Penelope Pink anywhere beyond WOW?
So I always like to say that Pink is not a person. Pink is an attitude. Pink is a lifestyle. So when I was able to join the amazing roster at WOW, Penelope Pink was born. And Penelope Pink is separate from the Detroit Barbie. And I like to keep them that way for sure. And also, it's so much fun to explore different avenues. I am not able to cross them over, but I don't want to because they are two separate people. And I like to keep it that way without a doubt.
It's nice to be able to be both, though, honestly, because you can go to WOW, do your thing, be the axe kicker you are, and then go and be on the independent scene where I'm sure you thrive just as well as Marina Tucker, the Detroit Barbie. So it's cool to see you doing your thing. You're definitely exceeding all the expectations, at least in my opinion. I didn't expect to see you on national television, that's for sure. This on just turning it on TV.
Whoa. Of course we said one day Marina will be on
if you see him at the Stanford Amphitheater, the next thing you know, you don't expect to see him on your television. It's surprising,
Well, that's how indie wrestling works. Everybody had to start somewhere. That's our goal. That's when anyone starts in this business. Sometimes the greatest people on TV, like an AJ Styles, like a Roddy Strong, they had the best matches of their entire career in front of 5 people, just because you never know where someone's going to show up. That's why it's so important to support the independent shows, no matter where you live, because you never know who's going to show up where or when their time comes. So that's what's very important about independent wrestling.
We know all about that. I got a little knockoff question from Niko's question here. The Detroit Barbie. So we obviously know you're from Detroit and you're beautiful like a Barbie. How did that whole persona basically come about? And were there any other gimmicks that were considered when you first started?
When I started training back in 2016, I just knew being the baddest bitch around was going to be what I wanted to be, without a doubt. So I called myself the Regina George of professional wrestling.
Oh,
and
Mean Girls.
It waned on me for a really long time that I realized that so many men didn't know what Mean Girls was. Like, if I said that to my dad, he was going to be like, what? So I realized that I'm leaving out an incredible niche of people when I use like a moniker that way. So the best thing about wrestling, I'm sure everybody's heard it, is you are yourself and you turn it up to 12. You just turn it all the way up. And I realized if I kept calling myself, the Regina George, it was going to just go out of style. And also it left completely being a babyface off the table for forever, because how could Regina George be a good person? So I realized I had to really think about, okay, I just got to take myself and turn it up. And I realized that Detroit is where I'm from and I'm proud to be from there. And then a Barbie is not very associated with the worst city in the United States of America. So I always have to say that myself is I'm a person that leans with I'm good because I know what I'm doing and I want people to watch me because I'm good at my craft, not because of my looks. So I think, okay, what's two polar opposite things? Well, a Barbie who's always enamored for her looks and a gritty city. So I put them together because I feel like I embody both, but at the same time, the Detroit Barbie isn't someone who goes out there and says, please follow me because you're going to see me in a bikini online. Please follow me and give me validation. The Detroit Barbie is someone who says, I might look like this, but I'm going to break every single one of my nails on your face to get the win tonight. And I feel like deep down inside, that's me in every single way.
I mean, you're meant for being a heel. There's no doubt about it, because like you said, it's you turned up to 12, and there's nothing you like more than looking at some fat loser in the crowd and letting them know that, you know, they don't have anything on you. So, at the end of the day, what made you want to become a professional wrestler? You said 2016 is kind of when Detroit Barbie came around, but what was the first moment? Were you really young? When were you at the realization that I want to do this?
When I was 4 years old. Watching professional wrestling is one of my earliest childhood recollections. I was watching it with my grandpa. Even though growing up in Detroit, for some reason, I was absolutely fascinated with WCW. WWE didn't exist to me for some reason. Even being up in the North, I just fell in love with WCW, and I fell in love with the baby faces. Sting and Bill Goldberg, man, I believed the hype all the way. They were just larger than life, and I just was enthralled with it. And, you know, my parents couldn't stand it. They just kept saying, it's a phase, it's a phase. And one thing comes to another. And I was in 4th grade going to my first ever SmackDown event right after we moved out of Detroit to Atlanta. And then it just kept going. And, you know, the captain of the cheerleading squad's not supposed to like wrestling. And, you know, then I go to college and I'm in sports broadcasting and interviewing Division I athletes. And I just kept thinking, you know, I can do this. Why am I sitting here interviewing some guy? I could be interviewed. And I thought my whole life I've loved wrestling. Wrestling was my happy place, you know. I turned on wrestling. I actually had a WWE network before there was a WWE network. My grandpa used to record on VHS tapes weeks and weeks and weeks of television and send it to me without all the commercials. So I actually had my own network and just VHS tapes, like, you know, stacked.
He was pausing it for you for the commercials and then hitting record again. Oh,
yes, he was.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So the good old days.
From legit 2002 till 2016, I had every single episode of Raw and SmackDown on VHS. So I had my, maybe it wasn't 2016, 2012 at least. So I had my own catalog.
You still have those?
Yeah, the WWE Network.
I was gonna say, do you have a VHS player still? I mean, even.
Yeah. So I taped it, and after college, I told my parents, listen, I got my degree. I've been on TV. I've been on radio already, but I want to go and try to be a professional wrestler because it will just kill me for the rest of my life knowing, could I have done that? Should I have done that? And I fell in love with it instantly. And I was afraid, to be honest, I was really afraid to get into wrestling because I thought it would kill my love for professional wrestling. And believe me, it does try.
Even us just being jobbers on the sideline and just having a taste of being, you know, boys in the back. No, I'm by no means one of them, but just getting in the back and interviewing with people, it's exhausting to be in the wrestling industry altogether. And then you got to go out and perform, and then they don't understand. You're breaking down well, maybe not you because you're the Detroit Barbie, but you're breaking down the ring afterwards. You know, it's a whole thing. They're
believe me,
I know.
Almost 7 years in this business. I mean, women's wrestling has changed so much since I started.
You wanted equality, you got it.
I built so many rings. I mean, when I first started training, women have it easy today. Before we get in all that, but I would work and bartend all day at Universal Studios, and then drive all the way from Orlando to Tampa, and you weren't guaranteed anything, and we got paid $5, and I did that for years. After bartending and being on my feet for 10 hours and then driving 2.5 hours one way. And then, you know, whoever showed up was just thrown in a match. So there'd be 6 girls and you'd be in a 6-way and you got 5 minutes. So you maybe got to do 2 moves and you got $5. Maybe.
$5.
Yeah.
That's a hot dog and a handshake, literally.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? But that's the business.
I understand.
Where you getting a good hot dog for $5?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have to go get the Wendy's McDouble on your way home because you can't even afford a good Nathan's hot dog.
Yep.
So you mentioned Sting, you mentioned Goldberg. Have you had the pleasure of meeting them now that you're in the world of professional wrestling, other than like fanboyish? Have you seen them out in the wild in the wrestling world?
I have, I would say met. I was in the same vicinity as Sting. I was just in professional mode, so I really had to keep it under wraps. But it was really cool just to be around someone I've idolized so much. Goldberg, I have not met yet. Keeping my fingers crossed on that one for sure. But the people that I've got to meet,
autograph one day. You might be asking for your autograph one day. You never know.
What about the other Michiganders that are there? I mean, you got the Steiners, Kevin Nash. You were big into WCW. You've got RVD and
you guys want to know something that no one knows?
Yes. Give it to us.
When I moved from Detroit to Atlanta when I was 6 years old, I went to the same private school as Braun Breaker.
Oh,
amazing!
Wow, nice.
I used to sit in carpool. He has an older brother, and so I'm in between both of them. So it's his older brother, me, him, and we used to sit in carpool together. And I found out that they went there, obviously. And when your parents come and pick you up in the line, I would always sit there and like stare out the door to see his dad pull up in a black Hummer, and I always wondered
that's awesome.
If like Scott was there with them or not. So yep, we went. I mean, we were like in 4th grade, but I went to elementary school, Braun Breaker.
And I think Braun Breaker hoped he was going to be more of a football player, but then he was like, I guess I'll just do this wrestling thing, and it seems to be working out pretty well for him.
It's pretty going good for him, yeah.
So, I've seen you around on television. I saw you on WoW. We've seen you at AEW. Dart. What is your highlight moment so far in professional wrestling? What's your crowning jewel? If someone said, Marina, show me something that you've done that would really impress me, what would you show them?
Winning the WoW World Title. WoW has been the only all-women's professional wrestling company since 2000. It's got a great lineage, and I am the 7th WoW champion in history. And I mean, if you look at the heritage and you look at the women who have held that belt, I am so thankful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to represent this absolutely incredible company. I'm very thankful with amazing women like Jeannie Buss, Selena Majors, and obviously AJ as well, to give this opportunity to show them that I can be like I said, the best damn thing that they've ever seen. And my goal is to get WoW into as many homes as humanly possible, and to show them that, we're a real force to be reckoned with.
I love it.
What about a compare contrast with Shimmer, Shine, and the other ones where WoW is going to be elevating above them? More of on a national than kind of a regional level with Shimmer and Shine has been more regional. Tell us a little bit more about Jeannie Buss, who anybody who knows was with the Lakers. Her dad, Dr. Buss, was the owner. Tell us a little bit about their plans to kind of broaden out the audience, social media wise, television wise, and everything else. What's the big plans for WoW, and how are you going to help them get to that higher level?
Right. Well, for Jeannie, WoW's really just been a huge passion project for her. She's very, very dedicated to it. And, she's there at every single taping. She doesn't miss a single one. And WoW, we are a part of CBS and Paramount affiliate, and we are on the CW as well. We just struck a deal a couple months ago. So we are now streaming live in India as well, which is a huge platform for professional wrestling.
Huge audience.
Our goal for social media, is growing as well. We just did in December, where I won the WoW World Title. We did LA Comic-Con, which was absolutely a blast to do. I can't wait to do more. We got to meet up with fans who have been following WoW since it originated in 2000. We follow people who watched Glow. David McClain originally was a part of Glow, so even some of the original Glow girls were there watching our event as well. So the women's community in wrestling is growing more than ever, and to have WoW at one of the forefronts for it is absolutely incredible. And when it comes to TV, WoW is doing an amazing job, not just going after a wrestling fan. They want to broaden the horizons, and that's why when you look at the women's roster for WoW, no one looks alike. Everybody stands out. We have girls who are mothers, girls who are college students, variety of ages, ethnicities, from girls from different countries, backgrounds. You're going to relate to somebody on the show. It doesn't matter if you're just flipping through. We're going to catch your attention for sure, and someone's gonna resonate with you. no matter if they're on every episode or not, but someone on our roster can connect with almost everybody out there. And I think that's what's so great is, you know, a lot of girls don't need crazy color hair, crazy colored outfits to stand out. Everybody's just already so different.
I felt the same way when I watched. Go ahead, Jay, in 1 second. But I felt the same way when I saw it because obviously I'm a fan of you, so I'm happy to see Penelope Pink on there. But then I saw the Samoan girls beating the living crap out of people, and it brought me right back to seeing Rikishi as a young kid, you know, as the Samoan SWAT team beating the crap out of some other jobbers. So it was just really, like you said, the diversity and all the women, you know, all trying to really honestly come for your title is going to really make for good television because you at the top is best for business. Go ahead, Jay.
Of course.
I was gonna side thought, Mike. Jeannie Buss owns WoW. That's
yes,
that's lit.
That's her big project.
Jeannie Buss in the backstage and watching the match.
And they've got the big producer from Glow. I mean, this is a big thing.
Do your homework.
Yeah. Hey, so I mean, do you go to the Lakers game, or are you we're gonna get comps and go with you?
You never know,
right? Like that's lit, man.
She'll still go for the Pistons. Come on, you need the bad boys from Detroit.
I gotta check
I'm
out.
more of a hockey fan, to be honest, because I like where people actually hit each other. A lot of sports, I'm like.
That's the good thing about Jenny Buss is, you know, that she's got pockets. So like if she believes in the product, then it could go a long way. Similar to like Mr. Khan does, you know, if he believes, I don't think AEW is necessarily killing it and making millions and millions of dollars in profit, but he believes in it and he thinks long-term that it will. And I think it's kind of the same deal with you guys. So you mentioned you have the TV deal in India. As far as America goes, what is the goal for WoW? What would be like the big deal that everyone would be popping the champagne and celebrating about for television?
Right. Well, currently we are on the CW, which is fantastic. Obviously, we are owned by CBS, so being on primetime CBS would be absolutely incredible. And all I can do is hope that you know, my presence and my talent can push that envelope and get us closer and closer and closer.
Wow. I mean, being on CBS on like a Saturday night kind of women's wrestling, I actually think would do really well because
I do too.
I mean, you girls aren't powder puff wrestlers. You're in there beating. And for those of you that don't know how Marina Tucker wrestles, it's aggressive. I mean, she really beats the crap out of the people she's wrestling. She's not in there doing little, you know, wimpy flare chops. She's lighting them up. They got scars afterwards. I see it. So go check her out and you can see her and, you know, just type Penelope Pink in YouTube and you'll see her win the WoW Women's Championship. Since winning the WoW Women's Championship, how has your life changed? Like the day before you won it, the day after, what are you doing now differently than you were doing before?
To be honest, it was just like the most like self-validating thing in the world, you know, almost 7 years of being in the business. And it's rough. It wears you down. It beats you up, you know, in more ways than just the physical way. And, you know, reaching that peak of the mountain was absolutely insane, but it made me hungry for more, you know, all of this combination of everything happened. And it's the most beautiful professional wrestling title in the entire world. And it's mine and it's around my waist. And you know what? I just want to keep going. The next mountain, I'm ready to chase it. Like I said, I want to bring WoW into more homes. I want to do WoW at big, you know, events live. I want to keep taking it to the next level. And, you know, I'm just hoping that's what's in the future for us for sure.
Is WoW all women? Like, is it complete women? Is it women film women? And like, is it all women?
Oh, I mean, we have cameramen, you know, they're men, but you know, our ring announcer is a woman. We have some men refs. We have a woman ref. You know, AJ's on commentary with David McLean and Stephen Dickey. So we got a really well balanced.
It's all women wrestling.
Yeah. Hey, but hold on one second. Hey, I see a lot of people popping off in the feed now. So you know what time it is, man. It's time to shout us out real quick. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Marina Tucker. And, you know, we've been doing this on a week in and week out. We've been traveling to Atlanta. We've been traveling to Texas. We've been doing our thing, trying to grind this out, trying to make it, having these shows, been popping a little bit. But, you know, for everyone out there, all the loyalists out here in the feed, and y'all are here for the belt, you already know what time it is, man, because we are the ones and all the other podcasts are the twos. So I want all y'all to throw up the ones and let's do this, bro. We're hot right now. We're rocking and rolling and we got Marina Tucker live. So, you know, that's my shout out. Let's get it, boy.
That was the most random as hell.
Hey, you already know, man.
You gotta love the enthusiasm.
You gotta
man.
pop
Jay
it
brings
off,
it
bro. You
strong
gotta
every
pop it
time.
off for the fans, man. We
Anyways,
do this
back
all
to
the
the
time.
interview. I don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
That was whack.
I'll say
as
if I
hell.
throw the one, I'm pointing it at myself because that's what I'm doing.
Hey,
Yes.
that's fine. You can point it at yourself. You can point it at the door. You can yell at somebody, point it that way. Hey, whatever you want. But on our show, we the ones. So that's how we roll. Throw up them ones, baby.
I'm about to mute you. So, Marina, now that you're Penelope Pink, now that you're the WoW Women's Champion, you got a lot more pressure on your shoulders. The young ladies, are they coming to you? Are they talking to you? You're somewhat of, whether you like it or not, you're somewhat of a role model. Whether you're a heel or face, at the end of the day, a professional wrestler with a title around their waist is definitely someone that, like you looked up to as a child. How does that affect you? When you have young people around, you're not, telling them that go F themselves and stuff. So is how important is it to you to be able to connect with the younger audience and be able to have them kind of look up to you?
It's almost just so shocking and humbling, to be honest, because I never thought it would be like this for me.
Oh no!
We
Cell
can't
phones,
lose
man.
Marina. No.
We lost
Hang tight,
her.
y'all. Hang tight.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
Let me put me in the corner. I'm the
Throw up them ones, baby. Throw up them ones.
They the twos and we the ones. I love it.
All day,
back,
baby.
Back. It's my fault. I put up some stupid comment when I shouldn't have put it up.
Okay, I thought it was karma because I said I was humbled, and then my phone was like, "What are you saying?"
Go for it. Children aspiring. Go for it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it all really hit home. I traveled to Virginia with WoW for a charity event for Jungle Girl, which was absolutely incredible. And
she's Jungle. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
and
saw Jungle Girl.
I was in the airport and I got asked for my autograph. Out of random, I thought it was a rib. I thought Jungle Girl and her husband sent a little girl to me and Lana as like a joke and was like, "Hey, film this so we can have this on them for like blackmail or something." And it was the realest deal I've ever thought, and it was just the most shocking. But yeah, no, I love being able to represent a strong athlete on television, because growing up, you never really saw someone who looked like me on TV. I'm not this big, I'm not a Victoria's Secret model size. And I think it's really cool, especially being in a company that all women company that we have, everybody looks different. Everybody is an athlete, but everyone comes from different backgrounds. We have former swimmers, former professional boxers, former rugby players, fire dancers, basketball players. Everybody is an athlete, but everyone has a different background and a different body type. And I think that's really fun to see. A narrative that gets pushed in your face a lot as a woman is you're supposed to look a certain way. And it's really cool to represent being an athlete, but not having to look so cookie cutter. That's what I would always like to push on to, the younger generation, is just, it's important to be healthy and in shape, but, you don't have to fit anybody's, mold of what they think you should look like. And believe me, it was pushed in my face. I've been to so many wrestling training facilities in many, many places. And my first day ever at a wrestling facility, I handed this lady a check for a lot of money. And she goes, "Do you want any advice?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Never even set foot in a wrestling ring. She goes, "You're too fat to be in this business," and grabbed my check for thousands of dollars.
Oh,
hell no.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, when I went to another training facility, my trainer liked to tell me, he told me all the time, "Marina, no TV company is ever going to take you seriously. All you have is a nice face. You're way too wide to be on television."
Oh my goodness.
So when someone tells you this, does it feed you or does it hurt you at the time?
Both. But because I'm very sarcastic and I said, "Oh, really? I'm so wide. I didn't know I had to turn sideways to enter the front door every time I walked in here."
Well, for us as fans, we've always thought you've been beautiful.
Oh, okay.
We saw you at Toughies in Sanford with with pro wrestling, CCW, everything else. I was going to say with the younger ladies, what about some of the older ladies or more veteran ladies that you're learning from? AJ Lee, a wealth of knowledge, Santana Garrett, and other veterans on the roster. Tell us a little bit about it, how they've helped you out a little bit too, you know, paying it forward to your talent now that you're at the top.
Absolutely. It's been, like you said, when you have different generations, it's everybody has a different attitude. Everyone has a very different perspective of wrestling. I mean, even the girls I'm seeing incoming now are very different than us who were here 6.5 years ago. A lot of, and it comes with also people who have been on TV as well. Their perspective of wrestling is 100% different than someone who's maybe just been an independent wrestler for 10 years. A lot of the times, a lot of women just, you know, also the narrative I like to push is we don't have to be the men. The men are in the competition with the men. We just walk out there. We're already different. And it's one narrative that I always like to say to women that I'm in the ring with, that we don't have to go out there and murder ourselves and do these Canadian destroyers and do these moves because the men can do it. Why would we do the same thing when we go out there and we're already so different? And that's why I'm so grateful to be in a company like WOW that focus so much on storytelling. Because at the end of the day, after you see 400 super kicks, no one cares anymore. But they're going to care about how you made them feel. And that's the narrative of professional wrestling, is storytelling. You know, why do people want to watch Game of Thrones where all these people are getting murdered and killed and all this stuff? Why do these people care about all these characters? Because they either hate them or they love them and they want to see someone get their head chopped off. They want to see someone get married or all these things. And that's another thing on TV nowadays. I've noticed that like men and women have like no storylines together. Like they're in the same locker room and they like walk by each other like, don't you guys work together? It's like one of the craziest TV shows where like, unless people are in an actual relationship, it's like no one even acknowledges each other. Oh, wow. But you know, here in WOW, I mean, we're all in everyone's face because it's all women. So that's what I'm thankful for. We all, you know, everyone's always in everyone's business on our show. So, but when it comes to, you know, this younger generation, they're a whole different kind of generation wrestling. Women's wrestling, to be honest, since the whole women's revolution, kind of hasn't changed that much. They just are given more TV time. Wrestling is still wrestling. It's still the most cutthroat business. People are not, the boys have the boys, but when it comes to women's wrestling, it's pretty rare you actually have some friends.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick regarding like what you just spoke about. So like you have an ambience about you that just says you're supposed to be in the spotlight. People who like you would call it bravado. People who don't like you might call it arrogance. But nevertheless, you certainly captivate every audience when you step in front of. Tell us how that mindset, how you got that mindset when you hit the ring. Is that natural, or do you spend time psyching yourself up? Take us through like the mental preparation before your match.
It's a little bit of both. So I played sports my whole life. I did everything from basketball to competition cheerleading. Fun facts: I did traveling competition cheerleading, and one of our biggest events ever is at the Georgia Dome, where my favorite wrestling match of my entire life took place. And while I was sitting there ready to go out and perform in front of thousands of people, I sat there and thought, "Oh my God, Nitro was right here in 1998." You know, like I was actually thinking stuff like that. So that's why I'm a wrestler, because I think of stuff like that. But yes, you do have to, you know, psych yourself up, and you have to be in that mindset. But my mindset is it's a favorite quote of mine from Scott Hall. It's, do you want to have dinner with me or do you want to make money with me? At the end of the day, you don't have to be best friends with everybody, but you want to go out there and put on the best performance ever. Every match is, you know, a clean slate. You want to go out there and challenge yourself, work with the person you're there with, and make money. And, you know, give the people something to remember. That's what I want. I want to give people something to remember.
Marina.
So, yeah, absolutely. That mental preparation is absolute key, but it's part of it.
I was going to say, Marina, in addition to wrestling, where you're obviously a champ, there's going to be other things you do to elevate the brand, everything else, and who knows who else you'll be working with going forward. But you are in LA with WOW. They have contacts there. And I'm thinking beyond wrestling for you, because contrary to what other people think, we think you're a beautiful lady, would do very well on TV, maybe movies, other things. Have you explored other areas that you could branch out into in addition to wrestling, whether it be TVs, movies, commercials, or anything else that you could participate in with the connections in Los Angeles?
I have not branched out anything at the moment, but I mean, I would be completely open to do all that. I do have a background in sports. I was a Division I sports broadcaster, so I did do work on television and TV for my Division I college. So I have done stuff like
What
that
college?
in the past. Fair State University.
And that's in Michigan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We our school, we have one of the best Division II football teams in the entire United States. The quarterback that broke the rushing records of all time, it isn't Tim Tebow, it isn't anybody like that. It's our quarterback from our school, and I was there when he broke it, and ESPN was calling, SportsCenter was calling. So all-time rushing record quarterback from my school when I was currently there.
Nice.
And then our hockey team is one of the best Division I hockey teams. You know, all the big schools come in, like Ohio State, Wisconsin, all them. You know, we wipe the floor with them. But like the little in the big, really, really, really good at sports.
So prior to becoming a professional wrestler, you were like, I'm going to be a news anchor. I'm going to be in sports broadcasting. You know, he could go all the way. Like, that's what you wanted to do?
More like Aaron Andrews, like sideline.
On the sidelines?
The boards. Yeah, in between the boards for hockey. I was doing that as well. You know, post-game, you know, press conferences, questions in between intermissions, and then doing all of the, you know, game interviews, analysis, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Did you ever think about bringing that into your reality of professional wrestling and being like a reporting type character? Was that ever in the running at all?
No, it was too real life.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. We're right at the 30-minute mark. Marina, where can everybody find you?
Yes, absolutely. You can find the Detroit Barbie Marina Tucker at Marina25 on Instagram and Twitter, as well as my Marina Tucker fan page on Facebook. And then the best damn thing that WoW's ever seen, Penelope Pink, the WoW World Champion. You can follow me at Penelope Pink WoW on Instagram, Twitter, and then of course, watch WoW every Saturday night. And you never know what the Fabulous Four is going to get up to. We're pretty amazing. So keep in touch. And also, I defend my title this Saturday against Candy Crush. You're not going to want to miss it.
Good luck, Candy
good
Crush,
luck.
trying to take that belt.
What time is that at Saturday?
Candy's getting crushed.
Well, it depends on where
East
your
Coast. I'm in Florida.
In Florida.
fighter
CW in Orlando, Florida is in the middle of the day usually. It's like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. It's called the TV Guide, guys. It's 2023.
That's right.
Look it up. Don't miss it. Penelope Pink, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We'll be in touch, and I'll see you July. When is Pro Wrestling Action? July.
That's right. I'm going to be winning the Marvels Championship at Pro Wrestling Action July 16th.
Yes.
At the Sanford Civic Center.
We'll see you there.
You're not going to want to miss it.
Vicky Dreamboat
right.
is going down. Or wait, did she have to relinquish it because she got injured? I forgot. I'm not.
She's already been down.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, so it's
you
an
know,
open
they said
tournament.
that Submersible was bad. When I took her out, that was
You took her out. I was there. I was like, oh my God, look, it's Marina. Oh, she just took her out. Damn it.
sorry about your luck, kid.
Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks,
Everyone,
Marina.
go check out Marina Tucker on Instagram and all her social media pages. Thanks a lot, Marina. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, everyone. We are back. Marina Tucker is awesome. No doubt about it. I like her. She's a fun person. You know what I mean? Why is my page not moving here? What is going on? There we go.
There you go.
I was about to say.
All eyes on me.
Jay's taking over.
Yeah, I was about to take over, bro.
It's about time for me to take over because we're all here. Niko Extra Time. You know what I noticed, though? Every time I hit a comment, it will pop off the person on their cell phone. It was doing that with Bulletproof, and it did that with Marina. TNT Wrestling says, Jay, you're random as hell with your they the twos, they the ones. Best wishes to Marina.
TNT, I take that as a compliment, man.
Adrian Marina is the Women of Wrestling WoW Women's Champion. Check it out on the CW.
I got to check out a match of hers for sure.
She's a really good wrestler, no doubt about it.
I saw her do like a little Hurricane Rana off the top ropes. I'm like, damn, she could bounce around and everything.
She's definitely the first time we went to Pro Wrestling Action, Mike C and I were there. We interviewed some wrestlers and we saw her wrestle, and we were very impressed. And she's continued to be a dominant pro female wrestler because, you know, a lot of women wrestlers have that, and no offense to Chelsea Green, but like that kind of not hardcore, not tough, not beat down kind of wrestling. And she definitely is, she's up there. She would have matches that I would love to see with some of the tougher people in pro wrestling. So everyone go check out Penelope Pink. In the meantime, let's do the news and then let's give away.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a good playbook.
The Intercontinental Championship.
Oh yeah, some lucky winner is going to get that
Intercontinental Championship in the next. Let's get the wheel up, guys. Let's get the wheel going.
Isn't that signed?
I did not get it signed. We didn't go to River City. Man.
Oh right, we didn't go to River City. Yeah.
Way to unhype
in
it.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
All right, let me shuffle it here. Let me shuffle it. I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna share the screen.
Hey, hello from Philly. We'll be out there in WrestleMania next year.
Hype the wheel up. There is the wheel. We are getting ready to give this beautiful, beautiful Attitude Intercontinental belt.
Are we doing news first or the belt?
The news.
We're doing the news. They got to wait for the belt.
All right.
News.
Patience is going to pay off.
News number 1. Vincent Kennedy McMahon's fingerprints were all over this week's Raw.
Are we back on him?
Some of the site sources believe that Vince's influence will grow as the Endeavor deal is finalized.
True.
Raw was kind of dope this week. So whatever Vince is doing, I'm kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? I love Triple H to death, but he has his own agenda too, guys. When Triple H is in charge, Johnny Gargano all of a sudden,
Right.
and Candice LeRae and Bronson Reed, these other guys are getting these spots, which I don't have a problem with. I'm just letting you know, Vince McMahon is not the only guy in town that has favorites. So, Cool Mike C, what do you think about Vince's dirty little fingerprints all over Raw?
Well, you knew it from the press conference with Endeavor where they said, listen, we paid to have Vince on as a consultant. And he even made the analogy. He said, if Vince were to leave, I'd have to body slam him or something, where he goes, we want Vince's guidance. We want his knowledge. That's the reason why they bought it. Let's face it. Vince has been in Triple H's ear, even when he was last year, when he resigned or whatever you want to call it, he was doing it. Now with Endeavor, he can be a little bit more to the point and everybody knows it. And so they do have these last minute rewrites and some things that it might be difficult for people to get adjusted to, but they better get adjusted to it because Vince ain't going anywhere. They're going to have to take WWE out of his cold dead hands. Vince is here to stay.
He was in charge for 50 years wrestling with Roman.
Yes.
He is damn near 80 years old and
Yes.
somewhat out of touch with the new market.
In great shape, though. Let's
but he
face
did-
it. This guy could live to 100.
He saw Austin Theory and knew he was a stud, and he hit a home run on that one. I mean, you can't go wrong. Jay,
For sure.
Jedi Jay, what do you think about Vince McMahon's dirty little fingerprints all over Raw?
I feel like we bring up Vince McMahon on a weekly basis and just kind of go over the same thing. And like I always say, man, he created a wrestling global phenomenon. Okay? It is in the best interest that this American businessman who has been running this company for years and years and years stays with his hands in the mix. And reason being, now let's break some stuff down. WWE has sold to Endeavor. They have partnerships and sponsors and things of such that only Vince McMahon would fully understand and has people behind him that he's developing to take over that position. That's not an overnight job, my guys. Vince McMahon has been doing this, taking it all on his back for years and years and years, and they're going to need him to lead their partnerships with other economies, other governments, other hierarchies. They need Vince McMahon to shake the money hand with the Saudi Arabians, the Indians, and the people in London. They need that Vince McMahon handshake. Now, after that Vince McMahon handshake comes through, comes Triple H, Stephanie. This is so and so. Now we're starting to get more familiar with Triple H. Now we're starting to get more familiar with Stephanie as an adult, not on camera, off camera. So this is all in works and has been in works for longer than the news has been saying, and it's just going to continue. I don't see the company fully leaving Vince McMahon's arms for another few years. And I just think that this is what's best for business. I hear people complaining about it. Wow, cry me a river. He's been doing it for 30 years, and we tune in to Monday Night Raw regardless. So what are you really complaining about? So
It's still the best.
I'm tired of hearing all the crap. Save the BS. Vince McMahon is there, and there's no chance in hell because when he comes out,
No chance in hell.
You're gonna cheer him for his ass when he comes out to the ring. You're gonna cheer. No chance. Yeah. So stop it. Let's go. Vince McMahon's the owner. He's running this shit.
Let's go.
You're being modest saying just Monday Night Raw because the reality is it's Monday Night Raw, NXT,
right?
SmackDown.
We're gonna be watching Money in the Bank this Saturday. Like we're drinking the Kool-Aid like it's crack.
That's like saying Tom Brady was supposed to retire 5 years ago. He's still there. Come on, like just stop it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Our boy Carmelo Hayes, who we knew right off the bat from NXT was going to be a
star,
huge star, got a applause in the gorilla position for his work on Monday night when he faced Finn Balor. I do think he had a really great match. Finn Balor brought the best out of him, stepping up from levels, fighting people like Malik Kelly to, a Finn Balor definitely gives you a whole new level of, self-worth. I think Carmelo Hayes has big things going for him. What do you all think about Melo, and where do you see him 1 year from now?
We've been loving Melo for a while at NXT, and you're exactly right. When you can hang with Finn Balor, that shows the guys in that size range, he can definitely go. Great in the ring. He had kind of trick help out on the mic. I would say if he gets a little bit better on the mic, he's unstoppable. He's great in the ring, got charisma, everything else, working on his promos and things. He's going to be top-notch guy. Maybe a USA champ, Intercontinental at some point, not against Gunther for sure, but at some point he's going to start there and work his way up.
Jedi J, what's your take on Carmelo Hayes?
Here's the thing. You got to kind of look at what they have backstage already as far as talent goes. And they have a lot of talent right now that has not been pushed as they should be. And that's what I hope does not happen to Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is one hell of a wrestler, remarkable in the ring. He checks your box. He checks all the boxes, right? To me, there's only one thing that's going to hold Carmelo Hayes back, and that's his height. He's a little too short for what WWE stands as a dominant selling action figure when it comes to the size of a wrestler. What people tend to think about when they think of wrestlers. When you think of wrestlers, you think of guys like Hulk Hogan. You think of guys like Roman Reigns. You think of guys like Macho Man and Sting. Bigger guys that are 6'5", 6'4", that can, weigh 220 pounds, 280 pounds. So Carmelo Hayes will have that going against him, and I really hope that WWE can just push his wrestling abilities as far as they can go so that people can appreciate that more, because that's what's going to draw the crowd is his in-ring performance, because he's got all the charisma in the world. Mike C, I don't know what you're talking about. He's not good on the mic.
This guy's
amazing.
He's had Trick had to help him out a little bit.
I love Carmelo.
We know it. He can't be in the ring. He's incredible.
He was also just as tall as Finn Balor, by the way.
Right. Correct, but look, Finn Balor, look what they had to, he needs a lot of matches, a lot of 5-star matches. They're going to have to work Carmelo Hayes into the mix and do what they've been doing with NXT. And that's what I'm hoping WWE doesn't stop. So Carmelo Hayes, man, you got a bright future ahead of you. And I see big things. Let's just hope, the height thing doesn't hold you back. And I know it won't in the heart, but will it physically? That's the question that, we'll see the answer to.
He's got a successful career ahead of him. There's no doubt. And he's just getting started. He's only going to get better. So we know he's going to do well.
I see the LA Knights. I love that. LA Knights.
I was Egyptian back in the day. I would wear it like this. I'd wear my belts around, like part of my piece and stuff. No, you're not too late, whoever was just here. I'm still giving this puppy away after 2 more news stories.
I hope one of them's Collision.
Maybe 3.
What'd you say?
I said I hope one of them's Collision. We're not going to talk about Collision?
You want to talk about the 658,000 viewership that they had?
What?
Or what? I think you mean Forbidden Door, homie.
Collision, man. And Forbidden Door. AEW, New Japan. took over the block last week, man. Come on now.
No, we're not going to be talking about
Oh man, Collision, man.
Dude, Collision was ass.
Nah, I gotta disagree. Collision was amazing.
Oh, Ho Soo Park is in here hoping to be a 3-time winner. Good luck to you. I mean, you need to go buy a lottery card if you win this thing. All right, Jay, by all means, tell us about. You can be the AEW guy. Tell us about everything AEW.
Banger after banger. I try to tell you guys, all their pay-per-views are bangers. AEW put on a great show Saturday. I think from what I saw on Collision, I don't know if you guys disagree or agree or disagree. They're almost pushing it as a pay-per-view, because UFC's on Saturday nights. So I think because UFC's on Saturday nights, Collision is going to be more so like pay-per-view style, with a lot of CM Punk matches, a lot of good matches. And y'all might think I'm crazy right now. Collision's going to be better than Dynamite. Think I'm crazy? Go ahead, say it. Say I'm crazy.
I mean, it's not going to be better in the ratings because
Collision's
the first
gonna
week
top
they did 900,
Dynamite.
the second week they did 650. So like that's not happening.
Wednesdays are going to draw more. I agree.
They're going to
I think
be in
Wednesday's
trouble on
gonna
Saturday
win.
night because their big card is CM Punk, and that got them a big 650. I mean, Roman Reigns ain't going to get 650 if he shows up. He's a 2 million plus kind of guy. No offense to anyone out there that disagree. Listen, Forbidden Door was amazing. I watched a lot of it today.
They said they had one of the best matches of all time on Forbidden Door.
Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. I'm guessing you're saying definitely those two guys are once in a generational talent. Physically in the ring, they can go. But at the end of the day, no one is going to go pay $150 to see just those two. You need a bunch of other people. On SmackDown, it's all about Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns doesn't show up, viewings aren't good. If he does show up, 2.8 million. So no one's moving the needle quite like Roman Reigns. But that match was absolutely insane. If Bryan Danielson doesn't fracture his wrist 10 minutes into the Okada match, that one will also be insane and would have probably been better than the Kenny Omega match, to be quite honest. Anyways, let's get back to what matters here. AEW don't want to have us on their committee, so you know what? Boom. WrestleVotes claims there is 2 very drastic finishes in the play for the Bloodline matchup. Creative seems split on the decisions. What do we think these decisions could be? Obviously, decision A is Roman wins and decision B is the Usos win. But what makes all this happen? Cool Mike C, you're writing the story. How do you see this going?
On what exactly? With Roman?
What is the drastic finish that you think they're talking about happening? One of the 2 drastic finishes.
I really don't know what would be so drastic. I mean, they've already turned against each other, right? And Roman ain't going to lose anything anytime soon. So I don't know what the drastic finish would be, if it's going to be interference or something else.
It has to be Solo and Roman something because he's the next person, but then Solo and the Usos are having their own issue. Jedi J, what do you see going on with the drastic finish for the Bloodline match?
I think people are so emotionally attached to this storyline that's where creative is having writer's block. There's so many people that are so in tune and so many viewers watching this specific storyline, which is one of the greatest storylines of all time, right? That creative is at a writer's block on what path are they going to divide this up into. And that is going to have a lot to do with SummerSlam. So I believe, if I was to kind of
So everyone turns on Roman? You think that's it?
I can't
and then
see.
There was one.
You're right. I don't see everyone turning on Roman completely because Roman needs someone by his side.
What about Heyman? What about Heyman turning on him?
Well, right, exactly. This is all just up in the air, right? I mean, like we said, creators having problems with this, So it's going to be interesting to see because you really don't have a world title champion out of Jay or Jimmy. You don't have a potential world title champion. I'm sorry to say that. None of them are beating the head of the table right now. None. So do you draw in different family members? Do you poke and pop for a couple weeks? You know what I mean? So let's see what they do, because they obviously want to continue the storyline. They want to drag it out. So I'm sure we'll see some interferences. I'm sure we'll see, you know, a lot of, oh damn, you know, a lot of wows. So like you said,
So
Niko,
What
Well,
about
factor.
Heyman? Does Heyman stick with him, or does Heyman do the turn? That's the
no,
big thing.
Heyman has nothing going else for him right now. He has to stick with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman has already turned on Roman Reigns once before, so a turn on Roman Reigns right now wouldn't wow the crowd. You get what I'm saying? So Paul Heyman is the wise man. The wise man is part of the bloodline. The bloodline without Paul Heyman is not the same bloodline. So Paul Heyman stays in the story. This is a book. You don't just kill off one of the characters in the middle of the story unless you're ready to end the story.
They did it in Game of Thrones for
but
years. They
this,
did it in Sons of Anarchy for
but
years.
this
Any
story-
episodic thing, they take people out. You know,
Correct,
so
but we don't know-
someone gets killed every show.
Just
I mean,
debriefed his theory.
right, but we don't know where this story. They don't want this story to end. That's why they're having problems with it. They don't want this story to end right now. So you got to keep. There's only 5-6 people in the bloodline. You got to keep the story going with them facilitating. You
There's
know,
only
there's
5
only-
or 6, but
there's
you
only
had
2
Sammy
people.
come in. We could see Zilla come in
Yeah,
at some time.
there's
They're gonna further.
The
They're not
bloodline's
giving up
down
on this.
to-
That's a
Who?
moneymaker. You're right.
The bloodline's down to Solo,
Who?
Roman, and the wise man, y'all. They
Right.
have no more.
Right. Exactly.
Last news of the day. Then we're gonna give this damn belt away and move on with life. I'm not gonna announce the big next host we hope to have in the near future, but it's a big one, folks. It's a big one.
How about a hint?
A magnificent hit.
Oh, magnificent. Very good.
Nice. Randy Orton could possibly even return as soon as Money in the Bank, according to WRKD Wrestling. They're saying he is healthy, he is back, he is training, and he could be returning. Is this bullshit or not? And are we happy? Obviously, we're happy to have Randy Orton back, but in what capacity does Randy Orton come back? Mike C, all you.
We would love to see Randy Orton for sure. Everybody would. He's been on the shelf too long. It's going to be, you know, it's like they always say, they can't miss you if you're always there. So the fact that he's coming back is going to draw attention. He'll get right back in the mix. I think Randy Orton was supposed to be there at SummerSlam last year against Roman, and because he got hurt, he couldn't do it. He's only going to come back if he is going to be healthy enough to do it. So there's been talk that maybe it's, you know, going against doctor's orders. I think he's going to be fine if he does come back, but it's going to be huge. People want to see one more run at least with Randy Orton. RKO.
Jedi J, what do you say about Randall Keith Orton?
Is Rando coming back to RK
Help,
Bro?
bro.
Is he coming back to?
Oh, we'd love to see that,
help
but I
Riddle?
doubt it.
Because I'll tell you this: there's not going to be a bigger pop unless he comes back to help
Bro.
Riddle. I don't see any storyline right now that needs Randy Orton's involvement. So
What
he
about
needs-
against Roman?
I
What
mean,
if they build up something to Roman?
You
could
just
work that
wrote
along
the whole
way.
storyline right here. Here's what's happening. Gunther beats Riddle because they're fighting each other at Money in the Bank.
Mhm.
Then Ludwig and
Right.
Kaiser come out, they're beating the shit out of them. All of a sudden, I hear voices. That's it.
To
That's
the
move.
rescue.
Crowd will cream, no doubt about it.
yeah, right. There we go.
Oh,
that's
man.
that's the
RK
that's
Bro
the
is the dream.
That's
I
the
hope
only
so.
way I see it going, Mike. That's the only way I see it going. The RK Bro, and honestly, that's the happiest I've seen Randy Orton in years. You know,
Randy.
right.
Yeah, we
all
definitely
that
want to
stuff,
see him
man.
again. We'd love to see RK Bro. There's no doubt about that.
Randy. All right, folks. The time for talking is over. Someone's about to win this attitude
Oh,
era.
yeah.
I gotta be honest, Winners Club. I'm a little annoyed at the number of people that are here right now. There should be a lot more than this since I'm giving this belt away. That's not good for the longevity of the Winners Club, but we'll talk about that in our private chat room, won't we? Anyways, let's go for it, guys. Good luck to everybody. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. The time for talking is over.
The Wheel of Fortune, baby.
Spin that
Let's
wheel.
do this. Someone's about to be a intercontinental champion.
Yeah. Winner.
New IC champ.
Good luck, everybody.
IC champ.
Good luck. Oh, I got upside. How rude. I got upside. Here we go. It's slowing down.
Winner.
Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the winner?
Who was your favorite IC champ? Mine was Jericho.
My favorite IC champ was Kurt Angle, baby. Who's going to be the winner? Let's see right
Kurt
now.
Angle.
It's starting to slow down. Oh, it's slowing down, baby. It's slowing
Mike,
down.
you said that like that was not your favorite IC champ.
No, I do love
Starting
Kurt
to
Angle.
slow. It's getting real slow.
Who gets it?
Who's it going to be? Finch Master Flex. Congratulations.
Yeah, Finch. Is Finch here?
Finch
Raise
Master.
your hand, Finch.
I know the Finch Master. That was awesome. Congratulations, Finch Master Flex. You all
Finch.
saw it live. You are the Finch. Are you here? Are you here live? It's so much cooler when you're here live.
Finch is at work, man. He's not even in here. Come on,
Finch is a
Finch.
hardworking man. Finch, are you here or not? Let me know. There's a couple dozen in here. Finch, are you one of those people in the live? If not, congratulations to Finch Master. Adrian is pissed it's not him. A lot of people are pissed it's not you. I don't blame you. Matt's pissed it's not him. That's just the game. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Marina Tucker, thank you so much. Really great interview with her. I thought it went really well. We have big plans for the future, everybody.
What are we giving out next week?
I'm giving out as soon as the confirmation email takes place with the person at hand. I'm going to be giving away 6 Funko Pops all in the same day. That's the next giveaway. 6 Funko Pops, including Matt Riddle, Brock Lesnar, Alexa Bliss, Dude Love, and a couple others. So the next giveaway will be next week or in the next couple of weeks. Oh, I also bought a I couldn't get a mail, but I bought a female Money in the Bank briefcase that I'm going to be giving away between now and Saturday. So stay tuned. Hopefully when we get you know who to come on, I'm going to do the briefcase giveaway at the same time. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. You know where you can find us. It's right here live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's our new time from here on out. 7 p.m. Eastern. No more 10 p.m. bullshit. 7 p.m. Eastern every week. We have big plans, guys, for interviews. We went to Atlanta this week. We talked to Impact Wrestling. A lot is going in. A lot's in the motions. We're going to ALW this week. We're talking to some big names there. Stay in tune. You're not going to want to miss. Niko knows best. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.